We all got our coffee. I still got mine hot. Just poured a new cup. Welcome live from the desert. This is Hometown Arizona Live. We're calling it The Daily Show. We did it all this week at noon, Monday through Friday, from basically noon to 12:30. Sometimes went a little bit longer. I'm also over on TikTok at 1 o'clock with the repeat. It's Homer the Hawk up in the corner. Yesterday we looked at kind of a light dive into Mesa. All week we've been covering different areas of the Phoenix Valley in Arizona. First couple days we did Queen Creek. We moved over to Chandler. Yesterday we did Mesa. And today we're going to take a look at Apache Junction. This is just us getting our feet wet with the live broadcast for these noon dailies for this week. We'll be back next week, Next week, but I'm not sure we'll be doing the same format where we'll break it down. This is more of a World of Arizona thing. So we have multiple platforms under our brand, I guess our media brand. Hometown Hawk is what this is based on, the Hometown Arizona show. World of Arizona is more Arizona culture, stories. And we used to do a show called The Whoa Show, and we're going to bring that one back, and that's more lined up with what this is kind of doing here this week based on locations. Hometown Hawk is about local life, local businesses, local everything. Music, brands, events, economics. So we're going to stick to that next week. We're going to stick on brand with that, with this Hometown Arizona show, or the Hometown Arizona Live show. We'll continue to do noon, 12 to 12:30. But each day we're going to break down different segments of local Arizona and what it means. I'm excited about that. That'll be fun. And then we'll start doing the Whoa show. So they're just on different channels, basically. This is, right now we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and Instagram on the Hometown Hawk channels. So we'll shift gears next week, discuss more local topics, more economics, boots in the ground, more interview based. We'll have guests. This week we've had Amber with us all week. I'm not sure if she'll be able to stop in the day, but she's been doing the Where in the World of Arizona is Amber, which used to be a segment on the Whoa show that we did for several years, or a couple of seasons, we called it. So we'll just bring that back, and we missed that show. That was fun. Hometown Hawk will cover all of the other stuff. We also do a show, Hometown Arizona show will be Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Wraps up the week. We interview people. It's a longer format. That first one will be this Saturday if everything goes well. So that's the plan. Lots of lives, lots of opportunities to discuss Arizona, to look at the local aspects. And we're trying to increase visibility of local people, local business. Visibility costs money, and usually the smaller, not necessarily smaller, not everybody's small that's local, but the smaller ones don't have the budgets like the big guys from out of town do. So we're trying to raise the visibility of local life, local businesses, local people. And try to create a deeper level of trust for people that come here from out of state, because whenever you travel to a state like Arizona, it's heavy tourism, people from all over, a lot of Midwesterns who are very used to what they're used to, their national brands, and that's where they hang out. That's where they tend to go when they come down here, and that makes sense. They're more familiar. So we're going to try to raise people's trust by increasing the visibility and making local more familiar. That's the goal. And this week, like I said, we've just been looking at different areas in the East Valley. So we'll continue that. I'm going to take a look at Apache Junction, far east, right at the base of those Superstition Mountains that everybody is so familiar with. If you haven't looked at AJ lately, and I haven't been out there, it's been a while. It's been a minute. It is changing. It's a community undergoing incredible transformation. Long known as a quiet, beautiful retiree haven with unmatched views of the Superstition Mountains, Apache Junction is officially stepping into the spotlight as the East Valley's primary growth engine. Just going to take a quick snapshot look at what's defining the modern day Apache Junction, the real estate flip. After years of crazy sellers markets, things have starting to flip in the buyers' favors, I guess. We've got a 7.3 month supply. Homes are sitting a bit longer, averaging about 99 days in the market. The median sale price is holding steady at $465,000. You've got the Superstition Vista boom. If you drive between the US 60 and SR 24, State Road 24, you'll see that massive single-family housing development. They're exploding out there. The flagship master plans like Blossom Rock and Radiance. They're bringing in the major national builders. Economically, AJ still largely a commuter town for people that work in Phoenix. It's diversifying fast. Sunt Construction just broke ground on a massive 65,000 square foot manufacturing facility in the city. That's great news. There are some wins for public safety. The total crime in the city is down a massive 20% year over year, putting AJ Apache Junction, it's referred to as AJ by, I guess that's what I call it, by the locals. It puts Apache Junction crime rate at 15%, lower than the national average. Great news. Preserving the culture, even with all this growth, AJ is holding on to its roots from the recent official certification as an urban night sky place. It's very cool. To thriving tourism anchors like Goldfield Ghost Town and Lost Dutchman State Park, the community is working hard to keep that history, that small town Arizona charm, intact. I mean, the bottom line, Apache Junction is growing. It's growing up, I guess you could say. It's an old town. I mean, if their housing does take off, it's really about jobs. And if that starts to increase a little bit or there's more added, it changes everything. The housing and economic boom with the legendary rugged heritage. To me, it's just soaked in history. Apache Junction is very cool because of its history. That's what made everybody fall in love with it, I think, to begin with. That's why I did. We'll talk about some of that history a little bit here. So let's just figure out where it is. It's all the way east. It's the ultimate gateway where urban Phoenix Metro, it officially meets the rugged Arizona wilderness. It's that edge of the valley. It sits on the absolute easternmost edge of the greater Phoenix metro. Straddles both Maricopa and Pinal counties, acting as the final frontier before you hit the desert mountains. Of course, that mountain landmark, you literally can't miss it because it sits at the base of the iconic jagged Superstition Mountains. If you're looking east from anywhere in the valley, you see that massive, beautiful wall of rock. That's Apache Junction's backyard. In terms of major roads, AJ is framed perfectly between the two major corridors along 60 and State Route 24. It gives that residents a direct shot commuting west into the heart of the Phoenix ecosystem. Pretty close to the Mesa Gateway Airport, about 20 minutes. Sky Harbor in Phoenix is about 35, 40 minutes. There's a wonderful, the historic route. It's also the official starting point of historic State Route 88, better known to locals as the tourists as the Apache Trail, which winds its way up past Goldfield Ghost Town and the canyons. When I first moved here 25 years ago, I was infatuated with that road. State Route 88 was gravel washboard. It goes all the way up to Roosevelt Dam, which is, I think that's why they built it. I have heard rumors that it's paved now. I haven't been up there in a few years. That's a stunning drive. You get up past Canyon Lake, windy roads, steep cliffs. That's out on State Route 88. And that's when you drive past some touristy stuff out there. There's the Lost Dutchman Museum. There's the Goldfield Ghost Town. Like we mentioned, I'm going to talk, I think, a little bit about both of those. The museum, very specifically, we spent time out there. You'll drive past this on your way out on Route 88 there to Canyon Lake. Back in 1969, a gritty dust-covered Hollywood Western hit. It hit the big screen. It was full of outlaw gangs, stolen revolutionary cannons, and massive explosions. But this movie holds a record for something that didn't happen. It features one of the most famous musical icons in human history. A man who sold over 1 billion records, and yet throughout the entire film, he doesn't sing a single note. He doesn't even touch an instrument. He just plays that strict grit and dirt dramatic role. He even sported a rugged beard. Well, that outlaw, it was the king of rock and roll himself, Elvis Presley. Starring in his most unique film, Charro. And while the movie became a piece of trivia for die-hard fans, the actual physical history of the movie didn't end when the camera stopped rolling. In fact, it's sitting in our backyard. To shoot that movie, Elvis came here to Arizona to the legendary Apache Land Movie Ranch in Gold Canyon. For decades, Apache Land was the epicenter of Western film history. We're talking The Rifleman, Death Valley Days, and John Wayne films. For Charro, the crew built a beautiful frontier-style wooden chapel right on the set. It was... There it is, yeah. But there was a catch. The script called for a massive explosion central to the plot. So the special effects teams constructed a custom steeple on top of that brand new chapel just to blow it sky high on camera. The chapel survived the movie's explosion, but decades later, real disaster struck. Apache land survived a major fire in 1969, but in 2004, a massive, devastating blaze tore through the town, or tore through the ranch, and it completely decimated almost the entire historic movie town. Everything turned to ash, except for two structures that miraculously survived the flames. One was a barn, and the other, the Elvis Chapel. Instead of letting this piece of Arizona history rot in a closed lot, a massive volunteer effort took place. They meticulously disassembled the entire chapel, plank by plank, moved it down the road, and rebuilt it entirely. Today, it stands fully restored as the Elvis Memorial Chapel. You can walk inside, see the walls lined with vintage movie posters, check out where the king stood. You don't have to go to a Hollywood set to see it. It's located right at the Superstition Mountain Lost Dutchman Museum in Apache Junction. Very cool place. Been there several times. It's almost impossible to take a bad photo anywhere out in this area. I feel like everybody goes home, they edit their photos, they go through them, and then they contemplate sending it in someplace because they think they can win a contest. That mountain, especially if you can get some broken clouds, maybe a blue sky. You do see a lot of stormy weather superstition shots. They're always great. We have a photo gallery. I guess I can show that here or over at World of Arizona. I was one of those that thought, man, I should submit this. This one in particular I thought was just great with the tracks leading up to you get those blue skies with the white clouds. It's just a stunning area. A lot of these were taken at or around Goldfield Ghost Town. That's where this is. That's at the photo gallery at worldofarizona.com. You just got to go, when you go to the homepage, if you click on that location button on the top there, brings up a little menu. You can find Apache Junction in the list. And then go to the menu, photo gallery. It's a fun area. It's a great Sunday afternoon. Especially if you keep on going, if you drive out and you make a day out of Canyon Lake and stop in and see some of these iconic historical places. Bring your camera. Although the iPhones and these Androids do take pretty good photos. These photos I took were with a Nikon, but I got a lot of great photos taken with a smartphone. I'm going to take a look at Hometown social feed, see what we got in Apache Junction. These are premium listings from hometownhawk.com. In Apache Junction, we've got the Handlebar Pub and Grill. It's a cool little bar. They got live music. Love it. This is the one we were just talking about, the Superstition Mountain Lost Museum, the Lost Dutchman Museum. Which we can jump into a little bit. It's a very important story to the area. Won't get into it too deep, but the Lost Dutchman is a local legend. The Lost Dutchman's gold mine wasn't just folklore. It was arguably the most famous lost mine in American history. So who was he? The legend centers around German immigrant named Jacob Waltz. Back in the 19th century, he was nicknamed the Dutchman. It's a common mishearing of Deutsch. The secret treasure, Waltz, that's what he was known for. He allegedly discovered an incredibly rich gold mine hidden deep within the rugged Superstition Mountains. And the twist, he took that exact location to his grave when he passed away in 1891, leaving behind only a few cryptic clues. Ever since, thousands of treasure hunters have braved the wilderness trying to strike it rich. But its train doesn't play around. Ever since an explorer named Adolf Ruth went missing and was found dead in 1931, dozens of deaths and mysterious disappearances have been recorded in those peaks. Between the blistering heat and the treacherous vertical drops, the mountains guard their secrets fiercely. If you want to experience that gold rush vibe without risking your life, in the backcountry, AJ can help you out. You can head over to the Goldfield Ghost Town and tour an actual 1890s mine and see Old West gunfights, or hike the Treasure Loop, the Treasure Loop Trail at Lost Dutchman State Park to take in the views where the old timers used to search. That's where this picture is from, just outside of Goldfield Ghost Town. And all those photos we were looking through on the website were from Goldfield Ghost Town. Yeah, they do some reenactments of gunfights. If you're from Arizona and you haven't been there, you should. It's really cool. It's not something, if you're from here, that you're going to go to every weekend. It's what the tourism is for, but every local should experience it. In my humble opinion. There's another landmark or notable place to mention in Apache Junction. That's called Silly Mountain. If you've driven down the 60 between AJ and Gold Canyon, you drove right past it. It's a smaller peak on the edge of the highway, but it's the absolute best community success stories in the East Valley. Got its name before the 1970s. It was actually known as King Mountain. The silly name came from Pinal County road worker named Harry. I'm going to butcher that name. I'm going to call him Harry. Cadwallader. We gave it a shot. Harry Cadwallader. When he retired in the 70s, the county let him name the road leading up to it, and he chose Silly Mountain Road. Nobody knows exactly why. Maybe he thought the road was silly or looked like the views from his house. But the name stuck so hard the entire mountain took it over. The big environmental comeback. Well, if you look at Silly Mountain decades ago, it was heavily scarred by off-roading 4x4 vehicles tearing up the dirt. But the city of Apache Junction teamed up with the Superstition Area Land Trust, SALT. They did a massive restoration project and closed the scars to traffic. They replanted native flora and turned it into a pristine municipal park. Today, it has over 3 miles of multi-use single-track paths. If you want something incredibly steep and technical to challenge yourself, take that Huff and Puff Trail. You want the incredibly easy, smooth, wheelchair accessible stroll, they have a gorgeous botanical walk trail at the base, lined with over 35 species of native desert plants. It only rises about 2,100 feet, making it relatively quick to hike compared to the brutal Flatiron nearby. But the payoff is huge. You get stunning 360-degree panoramic views of the entire valley, looking west, and a front row seat to the massive Superstitions, looking east. It's a great place to stretch your legs, take some photos. Tell people you've been to Silly Mountain. Well, all week we've been doing this segment, Where in the World of Arizona is Amber? She's not going to be with us today, but yesterday, we'll wrap this up, we gave this clue. And it was just a fragment of a photo at World of Arizona. The worldofarizona.com photo gallery. If you go in there in Mesa and you look, it's in one of those photos. Some clues we gave away where you're looking for a place that welcomes visitors before they've even unpacked. This landmark sits near a city border where traffic seems to take the day off. Here's a hard clue. The answer isn't a museum, a park, or a restaurant. It's one of those places you've driven past 100 times without stopping. There she be. There's the sign, Welcome to Mesa. Amber took that picture. Now I'm trying to think where this was, and she needed to be here for that because I honestly don't know 100% where this is. But if you said welcome to Mesa sign, I'll give you a high five. If anybody knows where this is exactly, let us know. Let me know. She already knows. She took it. That's why she was making fun of me yesterday. Because she's like, you don't know where this is. And I think I might. I'm thinking maybe over by Eastmark someplace. Maybe on Meridian. Not sure. Anyway, that's the sign. That's the clue there we gave. And here's the piece to the puzzle. Got some fun questions about Apache Junction. Was the famous Lost Dutchman actually from the Netherlands? He was not. The legendary miner was actually a German immigrant named Jacob Waltz. Back in the 19th century, Americans commonly used the term Dutchman to refer to Germans as a slang adaptation of the German word Deutsch. What did Apache Junction go by before its current name? Well, before it was named for the intersection of the Apache Trail and Old West Highway. The area was known as Youngberg. Where in town can you pan for gold, ride Arizona's only narrow gauge train, and survive a Wild West gunfight? We mentioned it. It's the Goldfield Ghost Town. Back in the 1890s, Goldfield was a booming gold mining town with saloons, brewery, meat market. But it died a slow, painful death when the quality of the gold dropped. Today, it's been preserved as a fun Wild West attraction. Still has all those things. Saloons. Gunfights. Train rides. Which local hiking trail has the most ridiculous name? Of course, we just went through that. That would be Silly Mountain for sure. It's a city park where it offers an easy to moderate hike for those who want to take a relaxing loop through the beautiful desert terrain. Is it true you can stargaze right at the local government headquarters? Yes, you can. The Apache Junction City Hall campus is officially certified as a urban night sky place by the Dark Sky International. Makes it a great spot to enjoy the night sky. Low light pollution. Did they have? Did they build the famous Apache Trail, that SR-88, just for scenic drives? Well, that would have been thoughtful, but I don't think so. I think it was, while it is a beautiful historic, it was originally constructed in 1904 to provide access for the crews building the Roosevelt Dam, which is where it leads to. But yeah, today it's just a beautiful scenic drive. Got to be one of the best in the state. Top 5, for sure. Well, that takes us through Apache Junction. So we did Queen Creek, we did Chandler, Mesa, Apache Junction. Next week, we're going to focus on very specific local culture, local economics, local categories. Change it up a little bit, and then we're going to bring back, if you like this kind of stuff, where we're breaking down areas of Arizona and telling stories, we're going to bring back the show we call The Woe Show. And we'll do stuff like this. Amber will be in studio with us as we can navigate through the world of Arizona. Everything will start in the Phoenix Valley, but we'll move around Tucson, Flagstaff, hit all the small towns. And Hometown Hawk here on this channel, the Hometown Arizona Show, will move into more of the people. Be sure to catch our show on Saturday night, 6 o'clock, a couple of days from now. Yeah, today's Thursday. Today's Friday. Tomorrow night. Never mind. Tomorrow night at 6. On these 4 you're watching here, we're on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching here will be. This is where we'll stream from. I'm going to head over to TikTok now and start at 1 o'clock. A repeat of this. And we'll go from there. If you are over on TikTok, stop by, say hi. We're trying to build that up over there so we can get, if we can start working on the followers and get that up to a certain point, we'll be able to throw it into this stream so we don't have to do it twice. That's the goal. Or maybe TikTok doesn't care and there isn't enough local support over there. We'll see. We'll give it a couple more weeks. But I will see you on this platform here at this time, 12 o'clock, next week on Monday, where we have a different format. Tune in Check it out. Give it a chance. And then be on the lookout for the Woe Show. We'll talk about that here. It's on a different channel. It's called the World of Arizona channel on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. I don't think we have a Twitch account for World of Arizona. I may have to create that for the live streams, but we'll see you all on Monday.